The movie begins with a man named Nick sitting in a bar. His eyes are locked on a beautiful woman named Doris, and it is clear he wants to talk to her. But Doris gets up and moves to another table. Just then, a man named Oscar enters. Turns out, he is her boyfriend. Listening to their conversation, Nick discovers that Oscar is a compulsive gambler. Oscar begs Doris to come with him to the casino, trying to convince her that if they win big, they will never have to work a day in their lives. But Doris snaps and flatly refuses to go. Seeing this unfold, Nick calmly finishes his drink. He approaches them and begins hitting on Doris. Annoyed, Oscar stands up to fight him, but Nick mocks him and snatches the wig right off his head. Doris drags her boyfriend away to avoid trouble. Outside, Oscar is furious, and it gets worse when Nick follows them out, insulting them. Losing his temper, Oscar snaps. He punches Nick, knocking him straight to the ground. Doris is stunned by her boyfriend's sudden strength and runs to embrace him with pride. Meanwhile, a girl named Holly is thrown out of a moving car right in front of a hospital. She has been brutally beaten and tortured, barely able to move. Luckily, a doctor steps outside for a smoke and rushes to save her. In the emergency room, the doctors ask for her name, but Holly can only whisper one word, Nick. She repeats it until she passes out. The next day, Nick goes to meet Oscar, and here is the twist. Everything that happened last night was a total setup. Oscar had hired Nick to play the thug, just to prove his bravery in front of Doris. Oscar hands Nick his cash, along with a $500 bonus. Afterward, Nick drives to his actual job, at a Las Vegas law firm. We learn that his job is protecting clients in the casinos, but he takes these shady side jobs for extra cash, as long as they don't cross his morals. While Nick is talking to his boss, a wealthy young man named Cyrus walks in. He wants to hire Nick as a bodyguard to protect him while he plays high-stakes gamble. Even though Cyrus is 32, he looks like he's barely 20, making him an easy target for scammers. Nick brags about his skills: a black belt in karate, 3 consecutive boxing championships, fluency in 4 languages, and a photographic memory. Cyrus is impressed, and they strike a deal. Later, Nick goes to his usual diner. The waitress hands him a note left by Holly. He rushes to her apartment and is shocked by the bruises on her face. She tells him that a wealthy man and his 2 bodyguards trapped her in a hotel room, assaulted her, and tortured her. She begs Nick to find his name so she can sue him. To protect her, Nick refuses at first. He tells her to hire a private investigator and walks away. But Nick was hiding his rage. He sneaks into the hotel and finds out from a friend that the attacker is Danny, the only son of an Italian mafia boss. That night, Nick leaves Cyrus for an urgent matter. He goes straight to Danny's suite, pretending to be a mob enforcer. He bursts into the room, confronting Danny, who was relaxing in the bathtub. Danny threatens Nick with a gun and orders his men to throw him out. But in a split second, Nick moves like lightning. He breaks the first guard's leg, slashes the second guard's face with a credit card, and ties them all up. Holly arrives, holding a pair of scissors. Terrified, Danny begs for mercy and offers $50,000 in cash. Holly takes the money, but cuts Danny anyway, refusing to forgive him. They grab the cash and leave him weeping on the floor. Nick warns Holly to flee the city, and she insists on splitting the money with him. Back home, Nick stares at the $25,000. He decides to test his luck at the casino. His dream is to make $500,000, buy a boat, and retire on a remote island. He starts winning hand after hand. A crowd gathers, amazed by his skill, and in the final tense round, Nick flips his cards and wins the $500,000. Cyrus asks what he will do next, and Nick talks about his dream island. But as he walks to the cashier, the addiction takes over. He goes back to the table and bets everything, including Holly's money. In just 1 second, luck turns its back on him. He loses every single dollar. Devastated, Nick locks himself in the bathroom, crying over his lack of control, before drinking himself to sleep.